Greetings, everyone. This is Koku from the Bitter Medicine Podcast, inviting you to tune in to the Bitter Medicine Podcast on KWAZ Radio.
Peace, family. This is Oni, inviting you to listen to the pro-black perspective, where black problems are addressed with black solutions.
Greetings, fam. Tune in to The Learning Curve with me, the revolutionary matron on KWAZ Radio.
All right, welcome to episode 41 of the Harsh Reality Podcast. I'm your host, D-Web, and I'm joined by my esteemed co-host with an S. First off, we got the one and only, the original, the Dandara. We got L Miguel in the building. L, what's good, bro?
I like that, I like you gave me the OG title. I like that, but everything's good. Everything's copacetic. Good weekend. Feeling healthy, feeling blessed.
That's what's up. That's what I like to hear. And next up, we got, last but not least, the gangster boo of the podcast. We got the outspoken, the one and only Hotep Lero. Lero, what's good with you?
What's good, fam? Happy to be here. I'm well, doing it what it do.
For sure. Rye might show up a little later on, man. She don't see PT, so shout out to Rye if she doesn't come. But our director of media relations is always running late, but it's all good. But disclaimer, first off, by no means do we claim to be experts, just everyday people with a small platform. Here to add our 2 cents to various subjects we plan on discussing today. And make sure y'all follow the podcast at The Harsh Reality Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Before we begin, I'd be amiss if I didn't shout out the KWAZ Radio family. Make sure y'all subscribe to all the shows available on KWAZ. We'll include the link. It's about 10 shows on that sucker now. So make sure y'all subscribe to all of them. And lastly, the podcast is now on Patreon. Please donate. And of course, all proceeds go to upgrading the show, providing the best content we can for loyal listeners, and also for those looking to reach out to the show to tell us how much we are awesome or how much we suck. Reach us at theharshrealitypod@gmail.com. Now, without further ado, let's get into the topics. And the first thing we got is Shanquella. I think I'm saying the name right. Shanquella Robinson's death. Was it a murder or a manslaughter? And I got a little thing I'm gonna pull up here, just kind of discussing it. Hold on.
I think it's Shanquella.
Is it Shanquella or Shanquella? I don't know how you pronounce it. But hold on a second here. All right, pull up this article.
All right. This story's crazy.
So we got Shanquella Robinson. I thought it was some articles I see an N right here. Some I don't see an N. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's great.
But what happened, and basically they had a video clip going around, which I'm not going to show because the young lady, I believe she was like naked in the video, and I don't want to, desecrate her death with that. But basically it showed like her friends there in the hotel room, and one of them attacked her, I believe. And then sometime later, I believe she turned up dead, and they tried to say it was due to alcohol poisoning, which is kind of crazy to me. But I'm gonna throw this to L first, one of the ones you brought up here. What do you have on this story, and what are your thoughts on what happened to her?
Yeah, I mean, I believe first and foremost it's murder. I believe they murdered that girl. Whether they meant to or not, doesn't change the fact that the woman was defenseless. And I also want to make a note of this too. I think this is what's wrong, partly what's wrong with our community. You see these women acting very, I'm not even going to say masculine, because, beating on somebody defenseless isn't masculine, but, and then you see the men being just bystanders. You know, and not saying that this doesn't happen. I've seen it happen. I've been a bystander in my younger days. But with so much stuff going on, it just makes you think like how, you know, what you want the big girl to do, jump off the top rope and do a 360 frog splash. Like, what else did you want her to do? You know, and the size mismatch, and the girl wasn't fighting back. And you heard the dude say, at least fight back, which to me means that was something that was coming at some point in time. You know, that was definitely a setup. Um, I don't know how much I don't like how the media kind of showed the whole thing. But here we have another example of, you know, us having to pick our friends better. And, you know, we got this beautiful girl who seems to have had a lot going on for herself. Um, and some associates. These aren't her friends. None of these people are her friends. Allow her to sustain injuries where she later died from. We don't have many of us. What was she? 20? How old was she? What was she in her 25?
25. Yeah,
She
there
was a
you go.
baby. You know what I mean? Like you taking away our future for every senseless murder or manslaughter, whatever they get charged with. I'm hoping they get charged with murder for the simple fact that they covered it up, talking about she it was alcohol poisoning and she had a broken neck. Like, come on, like that's, you know, we just have to do better. And it's not to say this doesn't happen amongst other nationalities, but it's not many of us. It's not many of us, and what was it over? You know what I'm saying? Like when this comes out, like what? Seriously, we just watched one of the greatest rap groups, one of the members of the greatest rap groups get shot potentially over a dice game. And now we watching a girl lose her life over probably who has more Instagram followers. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
like this is crazy.
Well, I'm gonna play this video. I believe this is gonna be censored, so we won't see the whole thing. But
Quilla, can you at least fight back?
Look, she said no.
At least something. At least fight back.
Being a
Something.
bystander.
Get up, bro. Get up.
Got
Quilla, can you at least fight back?
feminine men and masculine women.
At least something. At least fight back.
He was
something.
recording. He was recording before they even started fighting. Meaning he knew it was going to happen.
yeah, exactly. He knew it was a setup. Lero, what you got on this, John?
You know, rest in peace to the young lady who lost her life. But you know, that video is just it's sickening to me because you would think, what could she have done? You know, to cause you to be that angry with her. You know, like I mean, if I think of myself, you know, somebody angering me, I'm fighting them, they not fighting back. At some point, you can back up and say, all right, you know, you didn't got your licks in, you didn't hit her how many times, like just drop it and leave it alone. And for, you know, those standing around not doing anything, you know, these guys, like, y'all not gonna break it up. So it definitely was a setup. There's been so many like different rumors. Apparently, I guess they used her card money to purchase things, like they stole from her, like after she was down and out. I don't know whether she wasn't fighting back because she was intoxicated or just didn't want to fight. Either way it goes, you know, you got your licks in, leave it alone, you know. And it's horrible to me because there's no way I go on a trip with my friends, whether we fell out or not, and I leave them and they don't come back home. You know, they don't come back with me. Like that's already suspect to me. So I definitely think it's murder. They deserve to be charged to the full extent of the law. It just is disgusting to me. And you know, we got to be more accountable to each other when we have these, you know, these conflicts, especially among friend groups. You know, it's one thing strangers, but if these are your friends, somebody you planned a trip together and y'all came out to try to have a good time with, and y'all really let things get to this extent, like, y'all, you know, that she had a broken spine, like, what happened? You know, it's just, I can't imagine, you know, putting my hands on somebody to that extent, especially somebody who isn't wanting to fight back. Like, you know, it's full on murder. Full on murder.
Yeah, definitely. And Rise in the building. Rise, appreciate you coming through. Did you get a chance to see the story or heard the Shanquella Robinson story?
Yeah, I saw it. My bad, I'm late, y'all. But I saw it, and I definitely think it was premeditated murder. Um, and like, not to victim shame by any means. I just feel like we as people need to be more selective with who we consider friends, because those are not friends. And from my understanding, she had like a pretty big following. I guess she's like a hair designer or something like that. And she had a pretty big following. And so these people around her were apparently like haters. And I really think it's unfortunate that that happened. And I think it should serve as a reminder to us, like I said, to be more selective with who we consider friends, because those are not friends and they need to be thrown under the jail.
Word. So it looks like, from the stories, what they said, it was alcohol poisoning, but they did an autopsy and they found that she had, injuries, significant injuries, that contributed to her death. So that in itself is like why she's not arrested. It might maybe because it happened in Mexico and they have to, do their extradition type of deal, or maybe get a warrant and, hopefully they go to jail. Hopefully they go to prison in Mexico. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? Get some of that
Right.
treatment. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I agree with Miguel. If you just observe the video, from the dude screaming, "Shanquella, do something!" And it's like, bro, first and foremost, this girl naked. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she probably was in Mexico partying, probably woke up and now y'all ambushing the girl. You know what I mean? Probably hung over and everything else. Even if it was a fight, let's say, the homies is into it, right? Even if I condone a square up or fair one-on-one, if somebody's bucky naked, right? That person obviously wasn't prepared for a scrap.
Yeah, that was a trap.
Yeah, they wasn't prepared for no fight. You know what I'm saying? That's the equivalent of like jumping somebody while they're taking a dump. This girl butt naked. And then I'd seen the video with her father talking. He was from. He's saying that she's not a fighter like that. You know what I'm saying? She's not the person. So I think the jealousy did play a big factor into that. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful who you call your friends and all this other stuff. And then honestly, dude sound real sassy, sounded real sweet.
Yeah, real fruity.
Yeah,
I don't even care if mad saying he fruity. He fruity.
Word. And you ain't stopping nothing. Like you a man, bro. These two girls in here scrapping. This one girl obviously ain't prepared for the scrap. Why you ain't stopping it? I never, honestly, I keep it buck with you. I never understood that alliance, that whole Skittle woman feminist whatever alliance was going on, because to me that's like counterproductive. They want to be you. You know what I'm saying? Like they want your man. Not only they want your man, they want to be you. They want to have what you got between your legs. They want to be able to birth babies and be sad, have long hair and then sad. You know what I mean? They want to do all this feminine stuff that they can't do. And now you finna be friends with a person who probably envies the hell out of you. That don't even make sense to me, yo. That makes no sense.
How are you mad that upset in Cabo? Like for real. Like I don't think that didn't. And I don't know, but just from my perspective, none of them sound drunk. That doesn't sound like a drunk night, a misunderstanding while intoxicated. That sounded like maybe a little bit lit, and we gonna execute this plan.
Mm-hmm.
But how? Like this is another reason why women need to stop having these girl trips so much. I'm not saying, because she, reportedly these weren't her friends. These were like associates, and there's this need to travel every 3 months. I'd be talking to people who've never been out the country, probably been out the country twice in the last 15 years. And all of a sudden they want to travel every 3 months with random people. You'll do anything to get a deal on a travel package. Like for real, when it has to, friends have to be sacred. You can't just call anybody your friend. I'm not traveling with nobody that I don't trust,
to another country at that,
to another country for this reason. You don't know these people. And I feel like, our women be so thirsty to go places, to take pictures, to show that they're lit, to show that they're living their best lives with people that they could care less, to get a discount on a all-inclusive or whatever. Like, surround yourself with people that love you and people that'll protect you. And if you, it's just sad. It's just sad. I don't know how you get that angry on vacation. For real. Like,
Cat Williams said, "You mad at breakfast? You know, like, why are you so angry?" Like I said, it had to be something that was boiling to the surface, and that's what you gotta be careful about. That people may harbor this resentment. She was a very, very good-looking woman, young woman. Apparently, she was doing her thing, and you gotta be careful. You gotta be especially careful if you have some of these people envy. You know what I'm saying? Because they can harbor that. They, like you said, it was a setup. You know what I'm saying? It was obvious. I said this dude had the phone whipped out, ready.
Pointed in the direction of them about to scrap, like centered and everything. It wasn't like the camera panned over to a fight. He was already recording.
It's just, it's like I said, it's just so quit, do something, baby. Like, bro, what the hell, bro? What the hell is going? Who was raising y'all, man? You know what I mean? Like, who's raising these?
I just don't know what. Why would you go? I don't know. But why would you, as women, go on vacation with associates and gay men? Like, I'm not going on vacation with a bunch of bros and no women. It's not happening. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to Cabo, Mexico with no buns in my room. I'm sorry, it's not happening. If so, I don't maybe it's just me. Let me just shut up.
I understand the concept of the girl trip. I think you hit it with have some friends, that you actually trust. How you fuck with, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna throw that to. We got two women out here. What do you think about Miguel's comments about the girl tripping and things of that nature? I'm gonna toss that to y'all. Let's start with Lero.
For me, I've really only been on one girls trip. Now these are all like my friends, like we've been friends since middle school type thing. So like I trust them, like we still friends to this day. We had a great time. It was a little drama, but that was due to some intoxication, nothing major, we ain't fight. Nothing like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, you definitely got to go on vacation with people you trust. I wouldn't just go on vacation with just random women, or even like I said, these were my best friends. Like it's associates and women I know. Like, nah, I'm not just gonna go on a trip with y'all, even if it's just to New Orleans. Like, I'm not gonna like you got to really be careful with who you travel with. And you also, like Elle said, traveling all the time, folks, just you're just trying to flex. A lot of that stuff is flexing. That's how you get caught up and a bunch of drama with people out of town and stuff like that. But especially when you're traveling out the country, you need to be traveling with people who you can trust, like that's just full stop. So yeah, that's my opinion.
I got you. Ryan, what you think about the girls trip thing? Is that to be encouraged? What you think?
I don't know. I'm biased because my last girls trip ended with me coming home and getting pregnant. So
see, if you would have brought your dude with you, it wouldn't have been such a you was trying to get some frustration out all in one night. That's what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying. You tried to combine a 4 to 10 day trip in 35 minutes.
Yo, on that note,
I knew it wasn't crazy.
I think Ryan said it all. Yeah,
we need to love each other more. Bring in
love each other less, according to but shout out, and I agree wholeheartedly too. About your first point, man. Like if you're gonna do the thing, you're gonna do the trip, man. And it's a budget Mexico trip at that too. But at least if you're gonna, particularly if you're going overseas, going over somewhere, man, go with people that you fully trust. I would say even family for the most part. At least bring one cousin or something. You know what I mean? Somebody your blood related to for that drama, for that static. If it goes down like that, if you don't have a best friend, because obviously nobody cared about that girl enough to even break that up. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully they find justice. Hopefully, the federales do their thing and deport these cats over there, and they can spend the next 20-30 years eating their rice and beans and trying to learn Spanish.
Cornbread taking. I hope they drop dude off in Gin Pop. Yeah, drop him off in Gin Pop immediately, Bucko. Like, let him
yeah.
He gonna be hearing them words for the rest of his life in prison. Fight back. Don't let him take it. Fight back.
Word
up.
Hear
them for the rest of his days.
Learn Learn, get off me in Spanish. But anyway, let's head to the we had the American Music Awards. It was a big controversy with them canceling Chris Brown's apparent Michael Jackson's 40th anniversary to Thriller performance. We had a couple of people up in arms about that. I want to say one of the people was Jermaine Dupri. So let me pull up this one right here. Pull this video here and what he says.
Dupri need to do some interviews, man, because he pioneer. We ain't really hearing from him like that.
Yo, if the American Music Awards canceled the Chris Brown performance, then that means they canceled the 40th anniversary of Thriller, which means they canceled the Michael Jackson tribute. Black music, we in trouble.
I think it's short and sweet right there. So yeah, they turns out they can't. And they didn't. I don't believe to this day they gave a reason behind it. I don't think Chris Brown had any controversial thing that happened recently or anything like that. So I'm throw it to Els as this topic here. What do you got about the Chris Brown performance being canceled?
You know, I was trying to speculate why they might have did it, but you know, without any information, and it'll be all speculation. I just throw this out there. I was like, man, watch they replace Chris Brown with Justin Bieber and really show like we the ones in control in this month. You know what I mean? Like they definitely been flexing their media prowess lately. I don't know. I don't know if we should even really care either, right? Like, I don't watch the American Music Awards. I mean, like, why are we looking? We already know that they do us dirty when it comes to these award shows. Unless you're half naked and a rapper, you know, a female rapper, you're not getting an award, or you know, you're like a Drake, right? Like that pop rapper, you're not getting any acknowledgement. I just find it crazy that we're allowing, you know, probably one of our martyrs in Michael Jackson be ignored like that, you know? And how much does it actually mean? It would be nice if they came, not nice, but even professional. But it almost seems like it's personal. I think if you cancel it, something that big without notice, it's something personal. Probably somebody sitting in the boardroom like, I really don't like that guy, Chris Brown. He doesn't represent what we want at the AMAs, you know. And you know, I think this is part of, you know, tying in the last week's episode and controversy with who runs media, you know. This is, you know, Chris Brown is our generation's Michael Jackson. And for them to be able, it's their show, they can do whatever the hell they want, right? But like, who else would you have like, seriously, who else would you have represent Michael Jackson as far as dance perform? You know what I mean? Like this is Michael Jackson. Who else?
I didn't mean it to be Beyonce. That's this generation's Michael Jackson.
You think Beyonce?
Yes. As far as performance, yeah.
I give you Tina. You know what I'm saying? I give you Beyonce. Beyonce could be our generation's Tina, but she can't be Mike. She can't do what Mike was doing.
Facts.
It's only one that could do what Mike was doing, and that's Breezy. Yeah. You know? And so it's like, I don't know. I would say, you know, if they don't give any explanation, is that like a personal attack on our culture, right? Because Breezy's been keeping his head down. That man ain't did nothing in almost 2 decades, right? And he's still being, you know, is there a statute of limitation for I can't call it self-defense, but you know, they was beating each other up. I think he got spit on and punched in the face.
She said, she was like, he grabbed the nuts and everything. Like, if you listen to the story he told, she cuffed the family jewels. Like,
that shit hurt.
But I will say that, you know, to your point, man, I'm tired of hearing about this. Whether it be the Grammys, whether it be the AMAs, whether it be the Emmys or whatever. It's like you go to their award shows and you expect to be honored. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't even make sense. You got a room full of multi-millionaire black folks. Make y'all award shows, bro.
And not the BET Awards, because that's not about black people.
Yeah, we don't own that either. That's the saddest part. The Black Entertainment Television Awards are owned by Viacom. So it's like at this point, if you don't see the play, it's almost like I'm tired of hearing the same complaints from the 50s and 60s. You can almost take what people was complaining about in the 60s, post it to 2022, and it'll fit right in.
Yeah,
You wouldn't miss a beat. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm tired of hearing about that, bro. You got all these millions upon millions of dollars. You just had Jermaine Dupri say something. Yo, I've heard a couple of people. I've heard Timbaland. I heard quite a few people remark on the situation. All these people's net worth is above $5 million.
Yeah, but they don't care like that. You know, Diddy say a lot of, and not to say I don't know what they do behind the scenes, right? But I would like to see the same energy kept for when you're trying to push some Ciroc, kept for when you want to defend your culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you see a lot of mobilization and commercialization when you want to push a product. But when you want to defend your culture or fight for your culture, you get a 45-second Instagram clip, right? Trying to revolutionize people that got no money. So, you know, it's you know, I don't, you know, to me, this is almost a similar situation as Cat. Similar situation as Kyrie is when they Kevin Hart. Remember they tried to cancel Kevin Hart, made that man apologize for a joke he said about the LGBT almost a decade prior. So just got, you know, dug up. You know, they be prosecuting and persecuting our idols essentially, and we don't do nothing. You don't even see them do nothing about it. You can't have the regular fans be your biggest champions to fight for this. This got to come from the top down, you know. And it's just sad that I don't know if Chris Brown has the track record to be able to even come out and publicly say something. That's the bad part. Because if you come out and be like, yeah, man, that's messed up, you know, the media gonna be like, well, Chris Brown, you did beat on Rihanna 9 years ago in your Lamborghini, you know, and that's the scary part where you can't even come out and defend yourself or express yourself as a black male and just getting answers, right? And you're seeing it, except for Ye. We're not gonna throw Kanye in there, but it's kind of alarming. I will say that it's kind of alarming.
Got you. Right, what you got on the breezy performance cancellation? You got any thoughts on that?
I feel like, hold on real quick. Hold on.
Oh, I gotta put
my bad. It's the kids. Anyways, the
baby's asleep.
They knocking on the door, disturbing me. Anyways, I feel like the reason will come out probably in the coming weeks, and then we could definitely revisit this and go from there. But without knowing why, I'm only left to assume, like Elle said, that it's because of his past sins. And I mean, that was how long ago? Like, at what point do we stop bringing that up and punishing him? So I don't know. I do feel like, again, like Elle said, that Chris Brown is the only one that could truly do a Michael Jackson tribute any justice. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they canceled it. So I don't know what to say.
They're gonna put Justin Bieber. You're gonna see.
Oh God, nobody want to see that.
I'm not even trying to be funny. I think, you know, we're going to see this. Well, I don't know if Justin Bieber would even take it. Justin Bieber wouldn't do an Elvis, but
Bieber can't even dance like that.
Exactly. That's the fucked up part.
But you know what? Also, you know, it's like when you bring up that point, it's like they still going on Mike Vick. You know, they still mad about Mike Vick. And somebody blocked that cat in the chat too. They still talking about that years later. So it's like you could never have any kind of sins, you know. And like I said, I think Ryan hit it, you know, without us knowing exactly what's going on or whatever, we can't, you know, assume why they canceled the performance. But this performance was 8 minutes long. 8 minutes long. If anybody knows anything about choreography and what it goes into choreographing an 8 minute long routine, you know what I'm saying? That's almost a third of an episode of Seinfeld. You know what I'm saying? Of just dancing. So it had to be something big in order for them to do that. You know what I'm saying? So is to me it's crazy, but I just the totality and things. I don't like to hear like, oh my God, they doing us dirty, Black American music, blah blah blah. Y'all doing yourselves dirty, bro.
Yeah.
You know, start to take ownership. So yeah, y'all been in this game. You got people who've been in this game since, man, Jermaine Dupri been in since Crisscross Jump. Before that, you know, 80. You talking the 80s. By this point, you should know the game front, back, forward, sideways. You know what I'm saying? So why can't you start something? Why can't you make your own BET? Why could you get together with Timbaland, get together with Dr. Dre, get together with
Russell Simmons, Diddy,
yeah,
you know, all these billionaires damn near.
Yeah, 850 credit scores, black cards between all of y'all. Why can't y'all go out there and start something? You know what I'm saying? Rather than complain about it. I'm always gonna be about solutions rather than just complaining about something. And I'm definitely not gonna go to somebody else's platform to complain about something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That makes zero sense.
We want equality. That's the stupid shit we be doing. We be looking for equality from the oppressor. Like yo, they don't give a damn about Chris Brown. They don't give a damn about Michael Jackson either, really, like that. They was killing Michael Jackson for years, where he had to go to the Nation of Islam for protection. Then they gave a goddamn about Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
Shit's about Michael Jackson.
Hey, he made the song. They don't really care about us. All I gotta say, yeah, they've been telling you. I think between Michael Jackson and Prince, they've been saying for the longest that the industry is dirty. You know what I'm saying? They've been saying that you don't have ownership to take ownership. This has been preached since the early 90s. And you have artists now who should be more savvy in that. And I give them their props. Some of them are. You know, you had the Soulja Boy who basically made a career off YouTube and videos and shit, right? But you need to take that final step. Whereas we get our own award show, you acknowledge your own. You know what I'm saying? If you in this hip hop community, you in this R&B community or whatever, put y'all chips together and honor yourself. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand this whole begging somebody and crying about it. It's just weak. It's some weak shit to me. I
think part of it too is we don't own hip hop anymore. Like the music that I listen to isn't the music that they play on the radio. Right? I haven't heard one Nas track on the radio. He just dropped a whole new album. They're not going to play Nas on the radio. They're not going to play, Black Thought or Dave East or, some of these rappers that really shape, their sound, right? Their eclectics, there's how they sound, Styles P, that rap, that core rap doesn't sound like that anymore, right? And if you think about it, you got Little Pumps and Russ, and no disrespect to Russ because I like him as a person, I like what he represents. But if you look at it, it doesn't sound like what our rap sounds like. He doesng sound like, who is his influencer, right? I can go tell if you probably listen to Hove or Big L or Cool G Rap. You know what I'm saying? Like I can tell, you can tell what a person listens to based off of their flow, but Tekashi 6ix9ine being who does he sound like? And he was the biggest rap artist for that run he was on. You got Little Pumps and Post Malone. I don't even know what Post Malone be winning best rap album, and I don't hear him rap.
Post Malone ain't a rapper,
but he be winning. He be in rap categories. He be singing.
Yeah, he got that. It's depending on your beats and the category they just put you in is kind of crazy too. I think even the categories are outdated, right? This is not really rap, like you were saying. Like you can't compare a Nas to a Post Malone. Why are they in the same category?
Why did they get to even determine what is rap?
But rap is a evolving thing to me. Like hip hop is an evolving thing. It's the earliest, was the newest genre for one. For two, it's like saying rock and roll is like you got metal and you got, you know what I'm saying, like Nirvana or some shit, grunge rock or something. These are two different categories at this point. So they're not even evolving hip hop at the rate that this is changing. You know what I'm saying? The singy songy shit shouldn't be in the same category as the boo bop shit. You know what I'm saying?
It shouldn't. But Drake will forever win the rap category for the songs that he sing over.
Yeah, that's because we don't control shit. So they just throw everything in the same category. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's another thing. No ownership. You don't control who wins the awards. You don't control who gets put in your category. I mean, when what's that little fruity Lil Nas, right? When he had this little Old Town Road, right? Those country people was gatekeeping like a motherfucker, right?
Yeah, they was not let him in.
No, like they knew a troll when they seen one. They like, no, you ain't nothing country about you. You run around in a purple cowboy hat. You know what I mean?
Gay as hell, and you black.
And
We
you
are
black.
not letting you in.
They tried to put him on the charts for country. They said no, nah.
Stay over there.
You know, but we don't gatekeep like that to that point. Like we let anybody on any chart. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that hit, something that can rattle the 12s in your car, oh, that's cool. It's considered hip hop, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
it's
they was playing Old Town Road on Hot 97 and 105 on a regular. I know Flex was salty. You can't tell me Flex wasn't sitting up there like, this is some bullshit, man. You know what I mean? So it's you know, like to your point, you know, ownership, but we have a lot of I hate to hear the top from the top down want to incite revolution and they not doing anything. You seen Swiss and Tim at least try to do, they gave us verses. And then it came out that they really didn't own verses.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, you didn't own it. You know what I'm saying? You took the money and let it go down in two. I ain't heard of verses. And when the last time you seen a verses episode?
Shit, the one with Marion and
yeah, that was like maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So they took the money and ran. You know, that's not you did something for the culture. You gave us some cultural moments, but you know, that's what we do. We take the money and then we complain about how we're being done dirty, like you said. And Chris Brown is the latest victim.
Yep, you sell out, you get what you get. Ladies, y'all got any final thoughts on the AMAs and the Chris Brown cancellation, or just the gatekeeping the so-called culture in general, or you ready to move on?
No, like I said, if you can't be mad at these white award shows for not showcasing your culture, really. I mean, like, I use what can be said. It's just kind of like beating on the same drum at this point. But it is kind of messed up, what they doing to Chris Brown. I do want to say that just over the years, because Chris Brown, like, he really deserves his flowers for real. Yeah. For them to be so upset about what he did, that was in 2009. Like, you know what I mean? And then too, like, he, it was a fight, and Rihanna lost, and that's just
facts. Like, he ain't started. He just finished it. But okay. And it's also to say that man has lost millions of dollars, right? At one point, I remember them saying he was supposed to play Bruce Leroy in a remake of that movie. They don't really play Chris Brown music on the radio and haven't for quite some time. I will say this, in college, my freshman year in college, they called me Breezy, all light-skinned people look alike. And I remember going on a date. It was like a big group date, went to go see Stomp the Yard. And I never seen so many girls ready to riot in my life. I don't know if you remember, but they marketed Stomp the Yard with Chris Brown. And he dies in the first 15 minutes in the movie. And I remember girls was waiting for him to show up. And once they realized he was dead, there was a whole out riot. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. Women was throwing popcorn. I had to duck soda. They was going crazy. I mean, you would have thought Janet Jackson just got murked in that movie theater. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that we love. You know what I'm saying? Like that man is an icon. And he don't get treated like an icon, They don't even. It's like he might not ever get acknowledged as an icon, because of the lack of media, attention that he gets. As far as them stopping his run when he was 18. What is he? 32 now? Like, that man has had to make a buck with no media presence, and so shout out to Breezy, but we got to stop letting them stop our people from eating. That's the crazy thing. But that's all I want to say. It's just how big of an icon that man really is in the long run, and how much that doesn't even mean anything. It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, closest to Michael, he probably gonna get, you know what I mean? But let's move on to the next one in the sake of time. What does Trump running for re-election mean for Black Americans economically? Recently, we had Mr. 45. He's kind of catching a couple dubs lately. He got back. He got his Twitter
back. Yeah.
And he recently announced his run. So I will play the video here that we got. Here's a little announcement.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
He read way better than Joe Biden. I'll say that, man. Some white people are like, yes.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Hell.
Yeah, buddy.
Stick it to him.
Thank you. Thank you. All of you. Thank you. So many incredible friends and family here tonight. It's such a beautiful thing. Some people say, how do you speak before so many people all the time? When there's love in the room, it's really easy. If you want to know the truth, it really is.
All you need is love. But yeah, we had 45 back in the building. So let's start. Let's trade it up a little bit. Lero, what you think about 45? When does it make any difference to us black folks in terms of the Bretto? So what you got, Lero?
I mean, welcome back, Big T. Okay. I ain't gonna lie, I miss him being on Twitter, man. You know, that man is hilarious. I'll give you that. Listen, I ain't really too upset with Big T. But, what it means for us, you know, I'm of the opinion that, you know, both parties just two sides of the same coin.
Word.
For real. You know, one thing I've been looking to, you know, you got a lot of folks, especially like hardcore, like reparationists, who are like, you know, the Democrats ain't hearing us out. We finna go and to the Republican side, you know, we switching over that way. But for reparations, it's kind of crazy because them folks are not even having a conversation about it. You know what I mean? The Dems gonna at least play in your face, and you know, like, you know, we'll sit and we'll talk about it, woo, and then just blame Republicans as to why we can't get nothing done, you know. But them folks is not gonna have nothing to say about you getting a reparations check. I'll tell you that much. But okay.
People better cancel that one.
Okay, but you know, I think different strokes for different folks. I mean, vote who you vote for. I ain't, like I said, I ain't really got no problems with Big T. You know, he ain't got no issue. I'd rather him than Biden. I'll tell you that much.
Shout out Big Teasy in the building. Let's throw the ride. Right, what you got on Big T coming back?
I don't know. I'm sorry, you caught me off guard. I mean, I feel like he's gonna win it, so I'm fully prepared for him to come back. Like Lero said, I think the dude is funny. I think he's fucking hilarious. Got lots of good laughs off the jump. So shit, let him back. What the hell has Biden done? Seriously, what has he done?
I don't even like noteworthy. Saying that.
Like,
I get attacked when I ask that question.
Biden don't do nothing but fall on his ass every 2-3 days.
Right.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I feel like this show evolves to a Biden bashing every
Nah, it's not a Biden bashing. We can't throw that juju out there. This is perception. We're watching this man mentally deteriorate in front of our eyes, and people are going to try to vote him again and again. I will say this too, right? I believe the stats were about 15% of black males. No, I think 15 or 20% of black males went in Trump's direction. 90% of women went for Biden. But 90% of black women voted for Biden, and about 20% of black males voted for Trump. Do you think, I turn this back over to the panel, do you think those numbers will kind of reflect themselves this time around? Or do you think that black women are like, or you think you're going to see kind of that same, that same feeling for the Democratic Party, despite all that they've messed up in this last 4 years?
Man, look here. I think you put up a Doberman against Biden at this point, and it'll probably a win, at least be a closer ratio. I think it's a wrap. Yeah, I think it's over with, yo. Like people are paying. I paid $6 for a carton of eggs the other day, yo. the gas creeping up, and we got the holiday travel season. Yo, it's creeping back up. It's about $4.20 here for premium. So if you up north, y'all probably already at $5.
Oh, we've been at $5, bro.
You know what I mean? It's ugly out here. Everybody is suffering. I think you got you got finessed on the student loan relief right after midterms. Nope. Be quicker than that. You know, so it's to me, it's like, what do you have to lose? I don't care what they will run up against this dude. If you could promise to get the gas under $3, you might win in a landslide at this point. Just people just suffering, man. This is a terrible time, I think, for everybody. Nobody is winning. Nobody is advancing. There's not one group right now that's better now than they were in 2020 or 2019. We all screwed. So it's like, what you got to lose at this point? So, and then you got this dude who's about to be 80 years old. He's not making another term, yo. You know, honestly, both of these are old as shit. I think, honestly, you should have a third option. But if I got to choose between, you know, this dude, one geriatric versus another geriatric, I picked the orange geriatric. At least he looked like he got some sense about him.
Some pep in his step. Like, Biden it's so sad. You know, I think, too, right, because we've seen this campaign maybe the last 8 years from the Democrats really target Black women. And Black women are primarily the ones that got Biden in office last election, if you look at the numbers. And it would be interesting, right? Because I remember not all Black women, but there's a large part of Black women on social media with that Kamala Harris pick. They got duped. Like Kamala Harris was going to be the female of Barack Obama, and I haven't heard from that woman since I ain't heard from her through COVID. I ain't heard from her. The only time I heard from her when they was passing out the stimmy checks, the slim stimmies. She passed them slim stimmies out and been feet kicked back in the White House. Like, yeah, everybody's fucked, you know. And so, yeah, she hiding. So, but you know, she can't hide. So, you know, I just I'm interested to see what they're going to say, right? I think if they come out with that same fear-mongering tactic, right, I think people are tired of it. They beat that fear in the American people with the jab, and they still talking about make sure to get the booster to the booster. But you don't want to get the flu in COVID. You don't want to do that, you know, and people tired. I went to my daughter's gymnastics competition today. This place was packed. There wasn't one person there with a mask. Not one. They don't nobody give a fuck about that shit. No kids came in there. There was nobody. We was all in there cheering. Everybody was loud. They was spitting on each other. I was coughing. People blowing their nose. Don't nobody care. Nobody care about that shit. And so it's like you didn't save nobody. You might have killed more people than you saved with that jab.
Al
right?
Roker just came down with blood clots. He's in the hospital now. So people dropping left and right.
28-year-old just died of blood clots. 28-year-old rapper died of blood clots, and then there's somebody else got a blood. Oh, is it somebody else got blood clots in their arm and in their leg? Somebody pretty famous, you know. So it's kind of like
Al Roker. I just read that.
Oh yeah, Al Roker. Yep, Al Roker. Yep. You know what I mean? It's like, man, that man probably was, you know, that man lost a lot of weight. Probably got a good cardiovascular routine going on. You know what I mean? And blood clot in 2 places. That's, you know, suspect to me. And then 28-year-old skinny as hell. Not saying that don't happen, but you know, he passes away. So I'm interested to see, because I think Black men already jumped off that Democratic bandwagon. I think you're gonna see something pretty, you know, some crazy shit where you see like 35 to 40% of Black men go Republican. Because they already trying to take guns. They keep trying to take the guns, you know, on the Democratic side, you know, and people like, well, shit, you done got so many people fired trying to push that mandate, that jab mandate. You know what I mean? How many Black people had to lose their jobs? Like, I think what we covered, you know, mathematically, a large portion of our community work in government or government contractors.
Word. And they go to myocarditis. Pfizer and Moderna launching
their own investigation.
Like their own investigation themselves.
Yeah. So you don't get sued. We're gonna put this warning out here after it's been killing people for quite some time, and so you just know that if you get that booster, you already been boosted up. You triple boosted up. They're probably going to die next year, but you get this 4th booster, it ain't our fault.
You get the booster to the booster to the booster, you know.
What's that? A camera bar? I keep the boosters boosting. Get shot at. Call me. I do the shooting.
But to your point too, I think you brought up a good one, which you're gonna throw out to the ladies as well. Is Trump kind of like that red herring, that red horse to summon the black male vote from the Democrats? So I'm gonna throw that out to y'all. Let's start with Ryan. What you think? Is he that Trojan horse? Is his purpose just to draw the vote away? So what you think, Ryan?
Could you repeat the question?
Basically, they use in 45 to basically kind of weaken the black vote, or maybe even draw a division among black people, because we see what's trending, or are we all kind of done at this point?
I could see that. I could see the ploy for division, but I also, because of the lack of Biden actually accomplishing anything for the black community, I see a lot of black folks voting for Trump if he does run again. When he does run again. So yeah, definitely gonna be some division, but I'm all for it. Shit, shake this shit up. I'm sick of this.
I'm trying to get blocked as many times as I can on FedBook. The Lero, is Trump just a distraction to divide the vote, or you actually think that he's gonna win, could possibly win, and do you think that there's gonna be a device, particularly with women and black men? Is it part of like that gender war thing, you think?
Part of me's like, yeah, and then part of me's like, a lot of folks just fed up with the Democrats and their games, just the lies, the fear mongering. Like, it's not working no more. People are peeping the jig, and it's up. I think both black men and women, and it ain't even necessarily, just all Trump, but like a lot of black folks, a lot of black men are done with the Democratic Party in general, and so whether it be Trump or another Republican presidential candidate, they're definitely going to see a higher number of black voters from both men and women. But I definitely say black men too. Like the Democratic Party is just finished in that regard. Like, yeah, completely done.
So let's do an under-over right now. Black men, do you think be under or over 20% for Trump?
That's high, bro.
It was 20% last time. He got 20% of the black male vote.
No, I think it's over. It's gonna be over this time.
It's gonna be over.
Yeah.
All right. So you think Biden? We already know he ain't gonna get 90, but we're gonna say under or over 85% of the black woman vote. Because that's a big drop off, 5%. That's a FU Democratic Party if he don't get at least.
Yeah, it is.
We putting $5 on this too.
I don't know. It's people owe some fines, man. They got to pay them fines for they can make bets, bro. You hear? The whole. But I say he will get. I'm gonna say under, yo. I'd say the black women, it's gonna be hard to get them off that Democrat.
Yeah.
Man, they going hard in the paint.
You don't got no trust in our women.
Man, they like that degeneracy too hard, bro. The Democrats like to let them twerk and have 8 BOGO abortions, and they love that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
you don't need no black man because we got that government cheese and Section 8 for you. You don't need that man over there.
Yeah, they blame us for Stacey Abrams. You know what I mean? I got called like fat phobic or something because like what? What the hell they got to do with that? This mother had literally no platform whatsoever outside of like abortions and bad dancing and just blame black men hour. You know what I'm saying? I think
they making up new forms of oppression and stuff like that. They tripping over there.
Yeah, they tripping. So I'm gonna say under, yo. I'm sorry, sisters. I just think the lower is I think honestly it's just more advantageous for black women to vote Democratic, particularly if you just kind of want to.
Yeah, the banks tossing them money.
Yeah.
Too. The Democratic, these banks, what was it? Wells Fargo was like, we're giving $1 billion to black women, last year. And it's like, well, goddamn.
Like, we didn't want to lay down on the concrete.
Wait, hold on. I identify as a black woman. Like, sign me up. Let me get
Word.
my bag too. God damn it, you know.
Word. Shit, we gonna wrap up 45. Let's move on to the next topic. We got the Wakanda Forever. We got Black Panther. And is Disney furthering divided the black community with its casting choice? Or was it a good attempt to salvage a movie after the passing of the star Chadwick Boseman, who we know passed away tragically? And I got a little video we're gonna play here to kind of, I think, maybe hit on what we're getting at here.
So I just left seeing Wakanda Forever, and I'm pissed. I am pissed because if pushing an agenda was a movie, this would be in the forefront of that. This was Woman King on steroids. If you think that I'm gonna believe 100-pound black woman soaking wet is just an almighty warrior and can just body dudes like it's no tomorrow, come on. Like, instead of Wakanda, it should have been called Where Are the Men? Because they was not there, they were not present, and the ones that was there was weak. But all the women that was in the movie was just brolic, built, strong Hercules. What is this saying to us? Perpetuating the idea of the strong black woman and a subservient black effeminate man. I just think it's disgusting. I'm completely upset by the movie. And man, if this Kyrie Irving didn't teach me anything, it's when you put your life career in the hands of other people that don't look like you, then they can make you do whatever they want you to do. And this movie does not represent what African culture is. It doesn't represent what our culture needs to be. So, nah, I'm good on Wakanda. Where all the men.
All right, I like that. We'll toss the L. What you got, L?
Oh man, you know, because you know what it reminded me of, the Woman King, and we know what the Woman King was, what it was supposed to be, what it was intended to be. Like, even they cut out some good parts, right? Spoiler, I'm going to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but there's a part where you know, the main character, Black Panther's sister, gets a harp-shaped herb, right? And I will say this: they make all the black women in the movie, not saying that it's not dope, but they make them the smartest and the strongest, right? Like, you have to have a role-based society. You have the same people that's fighting doing the reverse engineering of things that should never be reverse engineered, that people don't even understand what they are, and then going and doing the fighting. But I would say that they had missed some parts, right, with the dad, right? You seen the dad that died in Black Panther 1. It would have been nice with Angela Bassett's character passes, if they would have brought back the mother and the father to talk to the daughter. But what did they do? They brought back a incarnation of kind of like selfishness and almost like borderline evil with Michael B. Jordan character, right? You could have brought back so many other male characters, but you brought back something that was almost like the male version of Eve, right? Like, Michael B. Jordan's character was there to entice the main character, what's her name, Zori, to do the wrong thing. And that kind of triggered me when I seen that. Like, why would you even bring Michael B. Jordan back? He dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then make her kind of like almost this super vengeful person. Like, they made the black man in the movie, like, the only role in that movie was Michael B. Jordan's that was significant, and they made it like a very vengeful spirit type thing. And you know, they killed Angela Bassett. That was like the heart turning moment, right, for women, for people. Like, damn, you know. And then you have Ironheart, right, who's an actual character in Marvel. But they don't even typecast well. They made these little girls, you know, like it was said earlier, like, you know, she was 100 pounds soaking wet. Now all of a sudden she's beating the antagonist, you know, and it's like, you know, like, I'm not saying you can't do it. It just doesn't feel right. You know, it just very, Marvel feels very, you know, they make Thor a simp in all the movies. You got one of the strongest beings in their universe, like super soft and emotional and emo. They're very like much absolutely what this woman said. They're very they're demasculating men. And they made the female version of Thor in Marvel, right? So it wasn't, to me, it was a good attempt. They did honor Chadwick Boseman the best they can. I just think they missed the mark. I think a lot of Black people, I think the movie will get replay value just because of it was a good movie. It just didn't, to me, represent Black people like Black Panther 1 did. I would say.
Got you. So I want to hear the ladies' perspective on this. Was there a feminist, you think, agenda in the Black Panther Wakanda Forever, or was it just a dope film and maybe they trying to empower women, or what do you think? So I'm gonna throw to Lero. What you got?
I'll keep it a buck. I have not yet watched any Black Panther. I don't I'm not, I'll be out the loop when it comes to movie stuff. I don't really watch TV like that. But I mean, it is also a superhero movie. So, it's all fantasy and whatnot. I think some of the takes that people have are just kind of a little extreme because it's like, I mean, you didn't make the movie. You go, it's like what time it is, you know what I mean? And like this is also, none of it's like really realistic at all. These are superheroes. So you know what I mean? I mean, like what do people expect at this point? But I can't really say too much about the feminist agenda or whatever other agendas were in the movie because I haven't seen it. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same boat. I haven't seen it. Right, you seen the new Black Panther?
Yeah, I saw it, and I could see what Shorty's saying, but at the same time, I'm like a Marvel fan, so I know that it's based off of the comics, and the comics his sister took over. So again, kind of like Lero was saying, like you're expecting realistic traditions and imagery from something that's fictitious and intended for entertainment purposes. Like they're fucking superheroes. Like granted, I can see the underlying tone of what she's saying. I could see that. But I thought the movie wasn't that great for other reasons, not that in particular. But it was, I mean, I don't know. It was decent.
Yeah. I will say there has been a push to kind of and I seen that one movie, I think it was Queen Latifah and Ludacris that was on Netflix. I forgot what the name of that.
That shit was disgusting.
That shit was terrible.
What's it about?
It was like these people that was driving to a different city or relocating this Black family, and they had the brother, I guess the father had died or something, and they were moving, and they countered some racist people who were attacking them. I got 15 minutes to it and I turned it off. It just was Ludacris was like the brother, and he was a weed head and he was useless, and these Trump voters they ran into, these racist Trump voters was on the road blocking them, and it was just like the most cliche thing I've ever seen. And it was just like, but to Bry's kind of what she was hinting at, or whatever, it was like, what even you said, L, the Black male character in there was just useless. He was a weed head. He was, like she getting out the truck to talk to the racist white dudes when they blocking the road, telling him to sit there. And it was just like, you see this constantly where like the Black male character is kind of like useless, or he's kind of a dope, or, a weed head, or, you've seen this with My Wife and Kids and stuff, where the Black male character is kind of stupid, and you know what I'm saying? And it happens all the time, so you seeing that push, and although this is a superhero, kind of a fictitious, Marvel universe type of deal, we seen it too. Like you said, the woman king, you know what I'm saying? That's called a queen. So you see this all the time where it's kind of like the Black male character is subservient to the woman, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that women are dope, you know what I'm saying? I'm a big advocate of Black women. I think they are dope as fuck, but at the same time, why the male gotta be a piece of shit? Why the male gotta be useless? Why the male is never in control? You haven't seen when was the last time you seen a strong male character? Good Times, and they killed James. You feel me? So it's like when do you get that strong male, patriarch of the family?
But I will say in the Woman King, I know the Woman King kind of got like a lot of pushback for like that, kind of like feminist agenda type thing. But I mean, there was still a king, and the homie Amazon still had to adhere to the king's ruling and whatever the king, was saying. So I didn't really get that point, too much about that movie. I mean, I had critiques of the movie because of like the historical accuracies and whatnot. But the Amazons were, actually real. They were real women soldiers who went and fought wars, and they lost. They got their butts whooped in the end. But it was legit. So I didn't really understand that too much about it. Because if you watch the movie, the king was running everything. They had to listen to everything the king said.
The movie was more about the connection between the daughter and the mom, more than the historic. They throw the historic stuff in there. But the Woman King was more about Viola Davis finding out the main character was her daughter, and that connection. And that's what made that movie good. That they go away from trying to paint this narrative of who they were. But I feel like not for nothing, but if you look at the Marvel's cast, right, Thor is a woman, Black Panther's now a woman. There's rumors that Wolverine.
They thought She-Hulk.
Yeah, She-Hulk, right? And the Hulk never was the Hulk in any of the movies, right? Like that man, they sent him down for 3 movies, and so I think that and you need those roles to be masculine, you need that, right? Just like typecasting. When they made Michael B. Jordan, Johnny Storm in Fantastic Four, I said I'm not seeing that bullshit. I need, what I'm saying? I want to see Michael B. Jordan as a blonde hair, that's part of the typecast, right? Not saying you can't go against that, but come on, like, don't force it, right? I think Marvel's trying to force certain things, and that's it just feels forced. I don't know if they're doing that on purpose, but Marvel has a million storylines they could go to. It just seems like all of them are aligning for the main characters to be all women, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Even further, actually, let's roll that into the next topic because I think it fits right in with Disney. We know Marvel is under the Disney umbrella now. With Disney announcing their first gay Black teenage character for this new movie, which that's kind of crazy, but we got the gay teen character. So this kind of fits to me into that whole agenda, what they got going on now. And these are apparently the people supposed to be producing it, which is crazy. So going in and rolling it into what we seen with maybe the kind of feminist agenda. We all know they kind of do the alliance thing at a certain point. Does this fit in? And this is just kind of a perversion, do y'all think? Why do you need a gay? I don't understand why the character's sexuality has to do with the storyline, but I don't know if you guys have heard this or not. Any of y'all heard about this new character they're introducing? I'm trying to see if I can find a picture in the story.
I feel like they've been introduced gay characters though. Wasn't the girl in the one Disney movie with the red panda, wasn't she gay?
Was she? I don't remember seeing no.
I remember watching that and feeling like there was gay innuendos all throughout that movie.
Well, they always put innuendos, but this is the first time apparently this was been an openly outright character that's supposed to be gay. So do you think the Disney's pushing its whole agenda or
I mean, they gotta represent, the one of the largest political groups, right? Like it just is what it is.
Are they though? Are they? Is the
politically
LGBTQ vote really that significant?
Not vote, but as far as influence.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like you say the wrong thing about them, you getting canceled. we know it's a few things you can't say. You can say whatever you want about Black people, but you mentioned the adopted Israelites. You mentioned the LGBT in a wrong negative way, and you mentioned anything like anti-women, you're gone. You're done. Dunsky. Cancel Christmas, so I think, when I say political, like, and to, clarify, I don't mean like as far as who has the voting power, but who has the power in media, which it seems to even shape laws right now, is they up there. They might be at the top as far as the that LGBT community might be at the top of the food chain.
Yeah, big facts, big facts. Throw out there to the ladies, right? What you think? Is there agenda, or is this a necessary thing to have representation? What do you think?
Oh, there's definitely an agenda, and this shit has been going on for so long now. I feel like it's being hidden under the guise of representation, but it's certainly an agenda.
Yeah, I agree. Lero, what you got?
The character just had to be black or black adjacent, whatever. And, that's crazy to me. Just crazy. Because why, for children's movie, this Disney, like, why do we need an openly gay character for children to see? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, but nowadays they letting kids decide their gender and do all that. These are these rhetorics that are being pushed, and frankly, the like you mentioned, it's the feminists who have joined an alliance with the LGBT, which is crazy and nuts to me. And now they kind of got some beefs in their community because you got sections of feminists who are not with that. They call them THRPs, because they're transphobic. They don't like that because they kind of peep in the jig that a lot of these folks are trying to be you. They want your position, and it's nuts to me. I don't see a reason for them to advertise this to children. Like, who cares the sexuality of a child character in a film? Like, that's nuts to me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's big nuts. It's like, what are you implying? Like, are you implying like sexual activity with a teenage? Like, why does it even be necessary? Why is it part of the storyline?
Why does he got to be black? I mean, I'm sure if you really wanted to go for representation, right, or even underrepresentation, I'm pretty sure there's a large majority of white young males that are gay that don't have a voice. I'm serious though.
Yeah, they want to check some boxes to me. It's like we get you check first. I think he's like biracial. So now you got that box, right? You got the biracial, he's gay, and you just checking boxes at this point. It ain't really got nothing to do with the story per se, but you just want to check the boxes because you think that's going to appeal to a larger audience of people. Oh, he's part black and part white, and he also is gay, and he's a teenager. And so you're trying to check as many boxes as you can to meet. You know what I'm saying?
So you remember they tried to make the Black Spider-Man gay. When they originally wrote his character, he was a half black, half Latino gay man, gay boy. And they got so much backlash, they changed it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, this is Disney to me, like, we're going to get this character in there one way or another. You know what I'm saying?
And my thing is how are we going to know that the character is gay? Like, he going to talk about being a bottom? Like, what? Like,
he going to look at a male butt in that movie.
Okay.
He going to look at some male yams.
What I gather, they said that he's gonna have a crush that he's getting nervous around. I was reading a story about the movie.
Disney Moonlight, huh?
Yeah, he's gonna have a crush that he kind of tenses up, and it's gonna be kind of obvious in the movie, And like I said, it's totally unnecessary to the storyline. To me, I don't, what does that have to do with anything? I've never watched any Marvel or Disney movie when they're like, what does, what is this bedroom habits? What is Bambi doing? Is Bambi gay or straight? Like, you never thought like all dogs go to heaven. Is the dog gay or straight? Like, you've never crossed that line.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter. Nobody cares. It has nothing to do with the storyline. So why? It's unnecessary. And I think when you try to force something, I think L hit this. When you try to force something, it's gonna be a failure, yo. We seeing this all the time. You seeing a lot of networks failing right now. You seeing a lot of these shows getting canceled. What was that one? The Superman, I think the Superman Girl or something they tried to run. It was one of them shows that they tried to run back and make the character gay, and they had to recast the character, and now that shit canceled. Because you forcing it's not authentic. You know what I'm saying? They got nothing to do with storyline. And we honestly, most people don't even got nothing to do. Like Empire, people still watch Power. They got all the gay stuff going on. Nobody cares, because they it's not maybe part of the main storyline, but people watch that show. Game of Thrones, you know what I'm saying? You had all types of crazy shit going on, but it fit in with the storyline. When you try to force something that's not even part of the storyline into something, automatically I think people reject it because it's not authentic. You know, you ain't keeping it real. So to me, they setting themselves up for failure. You know, Disney already, I think, just laid off a bunch of people. They had a hiring freeze. They laying off people. People ain't getting a check like they think they wanted. You know what I mean? So they keep on with this pushing this, you know, agenda, which you don't even have to do. You really don't. Just make good stories, yo, and people will buy it.
And who cares? Which is like, people don't care like that no more. It's not the 90s where your sexual orientation was such a big thing. Like, nobody cares like that. You know, a lot of people are bi. I would say at least 40% of women are gay or bi. being that they've kissed another woman in their adulthood at some point in time. I'm throwing that out. What did you say?
I don't think that makes them gay or bi. You know, well, we got.
Yeah, I mean, if a man was to kiss another, if a man was to kiss another man in his adulthood, he not gay.
Pause.
Yeah, it made you uncomfortable, didn't it?
We'll throw to. We're gonna ask the ladies. We'll get the poll going on. Does kissing another girl necessarily mean you're gay or bi? One of the ladies.
Well,
see how that needle moves.
So the girls sleep in beds together, hold hands.
Yeah, they gay. You gotta call it what it is.
Kanye say unless they use then they not. You know what I mean?
Kanye don't know what he talking about. Kanye ain't laying it down like that.
You know, I think we got the wrong panel to ask that anyway. I seen Lero talking about somebody girlfriend earlier or something too. You know
I mean, just call it what it is.
Listen, I'm a heterosexual woman. I only like men. You know, let's get that straight.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a fact. I mean, I think if you do kiss another woman, I mean, I would think you got some type of little gay tendency. I would
not tendency. I mean, you're gay. No, we have to call. We're not gonna beat around what it is. See how the needle
But I mean,
move
things
for
you
these
do
women?
as a teen, maybe it's
I didn't say teen. I clarified. I said in your adulthood, as an adult.
Yeah, as an adult, if you as a woman you're kissing on another woman, I mean, yeah, you gay.
You gay. It is what it is. I mean, if I seen two women kissing, I wouldn't be appalled. I'm be like, damn, baby, what you got going on over there?
Now you talking about two women in a make-out session or a peck
kissing? No, it don't matter. It don't matter. If you seen a man kiss for a peck,
why you keep bringing up the man?
Because it's equality. It's equality. It's not different. Why you gotta make it different,
bro? I think it
is. It?
Yeah, yo, bro. The dude's disgusting. Nobody want to kid. No, two dudes, hairy ass, mustache.
I don't want to see that. But I'm saying, by definition, why does who doing the action change the definition of what it is?
But then you trying to act like things are even across the board.
I'm not saying it's a double standard for how we look, how we view it, but what it is homosexuality. It just is what it is.
I don't know. I ain't getting no the women. The women ain't getting no backup, so I guess it is. So maybe they are. Rye just bowed out completely. She like, I ain't got nothing to say.
Rye is quiet for good reason.
I
don't know that.
I see nothing.
I'm gonna go sit over here and shut the hell up.
Oh, drunk nights. A couple drunk
That's
nights,
right.
Man.
That's right, El. That's right.
I mean, I'm not knocking
you know what? Let's
listen.
Let's bring it this way. Like, would you, if your old lady was with another one, would you consider that cheating?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If she ain't bring me in, it's damn sure cheating. I'm cheating. Yo,
you sound like Frank White at the park. I want in $5.
Nah, it ain't. I want in. If you not presenting another set of buns to me, that's definitely cheating. I'm not going to be as hurt, but I'm going to use it as leverage.
At least he's honest.
Okay.
Yo, we need an after dark segment. Just fully explore this.
No, but serious though, like, because I've mentioned this on prior episodes, right? Men be naive when it comes to women. When you see these women in hotel rooms in lingerie, what you think they doing? You think they just in there having a slumber party, talking about all the pipe they gonna be getting when they go home?
Yeah, I
Nah.
literally don't go to lingerie parties for that reason. Like, it gets
Yeah.
ignorant.
Yeah, you know, if men don't understand what goes down in them parties, yeah, you know, we be naive to stuff because we just be like, oh, she ain't gay, she don't get it popping like that, and these women be getting it popping, they do. I'm a gasser, so you know, for the most, I see, you know, I sometimes see things because I just try to take situations to the furthest. You ain't gonna do that. You ain't about that life, and women be like, shit, yes I am, and you just see some strange shit sometimes, and you know, we live in this society where everybody wants to show, you know, everybody's clout chase. Everybody wants to show you how lit they are. You'd be surprised at what you can get somebody to do just by asking. And I've seen a lot of women in the last 4 years get it popping for no reason. It's either they were in it for the fame or they really be like this all the time.
Yeah, I don't think that's a new phenomenon though. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
but now it's like, oh, we don't give a damn. I don't care who know.
Yeah, that's true.
A girl will take you a girl before a man would.
We're out the Raw. Ross said agrees to the family. You see, she came in on the wrong subject. We gonna move on. We gonna make a hypothetical episode later on. We gonna explore. We gonna have what they call that Angela Yee lip service going on around him. But let's move on to the next joint we got with Brittney Griner. Have women forgot about Brittney Griner, and are the chance for Black women about injustice in foreign justice systems and the U.S. lack of effort to retrieve, you know, her from harsher conditions reportedly. I have people basically put the story on the back burner, I guess you could say. And I think we recently had one of the coaches of Maryland Terrapins speak on it. What was her name? I forgot, but let's put up the screen here.
Every day I think about Brittney Griner. Every day I think about, you know, what she's thinking about, what her family's thinking about. Like, you know, and I just hope she doesn't lose hope. I think we have to be her hope. I mean, we have to be her, you know, her prayers when she probably questions her faith. We have to just stand in the gap because, I mean, it is unimaginable, like unimaginable. So I'm just trying to keep a positive outlook on it and keep her name out there. You know, I know our government is doing something about it, you know, but there's two to tangle. I don't think the other side is hearing it just yet. But, you know, we're praying that that our waymaker makes a way for Brittney to, you know, to come home to her family and all of us who love her.
You know what I found interesting in that she kind of blamed the other side. She blamed Russia for not listening when America is sending billions upon billions of dollars to the people
to the Ukraine.
They're
fighting.
Yeah, like they're doing everything possible to bring her home, but they're giving billions and billions upon billions of dollars to Ukrainian Nazis. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, what you think about it, bro?
Yeah, man, I think you know, not just Black women, but I think people forgot, you know, that story doesn't get talked about on ESPN as much. You don't see the memes of, if this was LeBron James, we would have did this, and you know, and you know, it's unfortunate because, you know, it's reported that she's in way harsher conditions. She's probably in gym pop with Russian men. You know, who knows? We only know what they tell, what they report, you know, and it kind of showed to me the hypocrisy that a whole, you know, most women don't even know who this woman is. That's the great Dawn Staley. You know, I can tell you know, I mean, I grew up watching Dawn Staley. Man, it's if you not even supporting, part of the reason why she's over there, at large part of the reason why she's over there is because of the lack of support from women. Right? If women watched the WNBA more, then they wouldn't need to go overseas to make a living. a viable living. So it's kind of like you got to keep energy up, right? When you want change, you can't fizzle out on the amount of energy and time and resources that you pour into an agenda. And I think, if people really wanted her not out, but we should be questioning on what's being done. Like you said, I think they're talking about sending the Ukraine another $37 billion to, not like you said, neo-Nazis over there, right? which they try to denounce that, but I can go on YouTube right now and you can see that they're neo-Nazis, and you can see how they treat black people over there too that are trying to escape the country, right? So it's like, well, shit, you know the enemy of my enemy, man, fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like we blame, like you said, we blaming Russia for one. We don't, if she did have a narcotic, come on, that's a communist nation. You did something illegal. But two, the United States ain't trying to get her back, sending billions of dollars to the country that they're currently in a war against. That makes no sense. And I think especially women should be questioning how the tactics, what is the priority? Rack and stack it. Because we're not in a direct war with Russia. We're in a not even I wouldn't even call it a covert war, because they know where the money coming from. You know what I'm saying? But like, Brittney Griner has to be, probably, if there's 100 priorities, she's 99. She's between 92 and 100.
Exactly.
And I'm pretty sure, I think we heard Biden come out and talk about it a little bit. That was all to get, that woman vote. They should have just came out and be like, ain't nothing we can do about that. And kept it pushing.
I think Raw hit it on the head. They asked to release, but they want this weapons dealer who doing 25 years. Honestly, I don't see why not. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know who the weapons dealer is, just keep him out of America. You feel me? But I don't see why not trade for him. You know what I mean? But that's like you said, that's not a main priority. Like, it depends. I'll guarantee if it was Hunter over there. If that weapons dealer
Russian hookers, they had some Russian hookers in an 8-ball. They would have went and got some SEALs over there to get him up out of there.
Exactly. If it was anybody else who's in that, you know what I'm saying? So to me, it's all about who you are, what your connections are, and I just find that it's very disconnected from reality to sit there and act like, I understand she can't go out there and be like, they ain't doing nothing to get it back, because it wouldn't help her situation. But to sit here and blame like the other side, when in reality, your administration is actually contributing to probably her getting more time. You know what I mean? For every billion they send over there, she probably get less and less cornbread, right? Less and less, more time at it. You know what I mean?
Her ass over there.
Honestly. So it's like you're not actually doing what you could do. At minimum, you could just stop funding the other side, and she might be at the crib. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you that Orange Cat would have had on the first thing smoking back over here in probably 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? He got what the ball, one of the Ball brothers back home. He got ASAP to the crib.
Yeah, from China at that, boy. China ain't no that might have been worse, in all honesty.
Exactly. So shit. Let's throw it to Lero. What do you think? Are people forgotten about Brittney Griner, and is America doing the best they can to get her back? What you think?
I think America don't really give a damn, to be for real. And I mean, like, what do you expect? My thing is this, though, is like, yeah, the situation's messed up. She's doing 9 years for a little weed pen. But I mean, you got people right here in America that's, doing time, done buku time off of weed. So, I mean, like, y'all not advocating for their release. As far as, you mess up in another nation, what can you do? All you can do is try and appeal for some type of a negotiation for their release and whatnot. But if you funding a proxy war, against Russia, I mean, what do you think? No, they're not going to care about your nationals getting released. You broke the law in our nation, you're going to do the time. And it just is what it is, as far as, women go, my thing too is, though, it's like when it comes to like advocating for the release of prisoners, it's always like, these big celebrities, how many women are rallying, how many, like when Obama put the bounty out on Assata Shakur, I didn't see a lot of Black women going up in arms, about that. Our political prisoners that are currently dying in prison, we're not advocating for their release, advocating for that. You know what I mean? It's kind of hypocritical to me. She's a basketball player. I mean, I don't watch sports, so I'm not gonna, say, oh, the whole WNBA controversy. Oh, they're not getting enough money. I don't watch it. You know what I mean? So I mean, I can't be mad that they're not getting enough money. I'm not a viewer, and many women don't watch sports at all. They don't watch the
That's
WNBA.
the first time I heard a woman say that.
So I mean, what do you expect? Of course they're not gonna make as much money. I think the NBA even loses money
Yeah, they operate
to the WNBA. You know what I mean? I don't know. So, I mean, I think it's bogus that she, getting that much time over a weed pen. But I mean, when you in another country, you in another country. And, you should call your government to stop sending all them billions to Ukraine. And maybe Russia have a little change of heart. But until then, I don't know.
I agree. Right. What you got? Do you think people have forgotten about Brittney Griner at this point? Is it not a story to be talked about? And are we doing the best we can to get it home? This administration, I should say.
I agree with Lero. I think people don't give a damn. I feel like there's other issues in the news that people are more concerned with. I mean, it sucks to say, but none of us have the ability or the clearance to go make this trade for her. So what really can we do but sit back and observe? And it's not being circulated for real. So I really don't think anyone cares.
And Sister Ross had a good point too. They want that Rush. She's talking about the Russian arms dealers, that he got some information that probably may be valuable, particularly if you've been sitting over here in this prison over here. So, like I said, but it depends on who you are. Like, to me, it's like the pros don't outweigh the cons for the U.S. Right? Brittney Griner, basketball player, who cares? WNBA, a league that's not even profitable. So I really don't think they care. It depends on who you. I say even if it was LeBron James, he'd probably be at the crib. You feel me? But it's Brittney Griner, and so it's like, nah, you gotta sit there. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we not gonna trade for that. So I think I remind people all the time that power dynamics is always at play here. That's why, to me, this whole diaspora thing we got going on and people not want to identify with any African country. To me, the smart thing you can do in the world is get dual citizenship somewhere. So maybe if one country ain't messing with you, maybe your second country might be able to have a better relationship with this country and get you to the crib. You know what I'm saying? At least you got some options. At least you got some avenues. She dead in the water to me, so, hopefully she can. I mean, she's 7 foot tall, so maybe she can keep motherfuckers up off her, but it's a sad situation they got that, lady in for a pin. And I think the pin was depleted. I just think it was like the residue on the pin at this point. You get a 9-piece extra spicy for that. That's ridiculous. You feel me? Like 9-piece for a pin, but y'all got anything else on Brittney Griner?
Nah, hold her head. I hope she can, that ain't the type of place you want to be in as a Black woman, a gay Black woman. So man, I pray for her release. And I pray for her health. Prison ain't, a 20-piece is death, in America, right? A person ain't supposed to survive a 20-year bid, and so I can only imagine Russia's conditions, and her chances of survival might not be that high, people not really thinking of it like that. But prayers out to that young woman over there.
Yeah, word. Rather, if it don't matter if I agree with her policies, don't matter if I agree with what they see as their value or whatever. At the end of the day, that's still a human being. You don't, like I said, 9-piece for a pin is off the chain. But yeah, let's go on to the next one. Kyrie Irving, we just recently apologized. He folded. Now, that's basically the question we're gonna ask. Did he fold, or was his apology kind of an act of self-preservation? Bring up the video here.
I just think I really want to focus on the hurt that I caused, or the impact that I made within the Jewish community. Putting some type of threat or assumed threat on the Jewish community. I just want to apologize deeply for all my actions throughout the time that it's been since the post was first put up. I'm very sorry that I had to be used as, some sort of example of what not to do when it comes to, dealing with all of this. So I just want to deal with it better right now and just say that I'm sorry to not only the Jewish community, but to my family members and to my relatives, because they know I stand for something bigger, and I'm grateful now I get to explain myself. And I take my accountability, and I want to apologize for that because it came off the wrong way completely. It's just now I'm in this space to be able to say, hey, I know that I could have handled that better. I did not mean to send any hurt or threats or impact or harm the Jewish community or anyone in it.
The people that you had grown up with that are Jewish, was it a process for you in the aftermath of this to speak to them and if they were hurt at all? What was that process like? And I guess also, would you have a message generally to the Jewish community?
Yeah, my message to the Jewish community, to my Jewish relatives, my Jewish brothers and sisters, is we are more alike than we realize. We have similar struggles, and I can acknowledge those. We have so much connectivity, between our cultures. And I would just like that to continue. I would just like to focus on the light that we share with one another, taking care of our families. And this goes for everyone. This isn't, specific to just one people, but specifically we're talking about the Jewish community here. I feel like we can bridge a lot more.
All right, that was the seemingly apology from one Mr. Kyrie Irving. Throw this to L first, bro. What you got? Was it under duress that apology was made? Did he fold? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if I had to call, I'm not a middle of the road person. I would say he folded. But I won't say he folded because he never really took a stance for or against anything. He posted a movie that had views, but he never stated that he shared those views, right? Like, I can post a book about Hitler, but does that mean that I'm anti-Semitic and was pro-Hitler? You know what I mean? Like, I think what he understood now, what his learning, what he's learning is that your influence, people are going to do whatever you want them to do. Unfortunately, his influence went against a powerful group of people that he might have didn't understand how deep their power is, because it wasn't facing him. He was watching Kanye go through it, and he might have understood some of the things that Kanye was saying, wanted to progress that conversation, did it in a subliminal way, and then felt the might of the Jewish community. That's exactly, what happened. I think what he had to then deal with is whatever their gripes were with what they posted. I still haven't heard. I've read the whole book now. And they didn't say that the Holocaust didn't happen. What they said was in the book that the amount of people that died in the Holocaust was in part inflated. And that was because that they, there's some articles that say like 10 million people died, Jews died in the Holocaust, but there's really around 6 million. So, and that's can be proven. So I still haven't found anything that's anti-Semitic or anti-Jewish in the book. I think when you say things that don't align with how they want their history depicted, then they in turn take that as anti-Semitism. I've been watching debates with Hebrew Israelites and Jewish people and different Jewish people, and I'll be honest, man, those debates be one-sided. It seemed like they don't even know their history that much. They know it from the perspective that how they teach it, but I won't say, so I'll take back. I won't say that he folded. I think he never took a stance in the first place to fold. I think it's unfortunate that, he said, what he said, right? I can't be anti-Semitic because I know who I am, saying, you know, he's one of the lost tribes of Israel or descendant of it, which he might not be actually, you know, but you know, it's just unfortunate that this man, that they put what he loved to do. You know Kyrie loves basketball. Like he's not Ben Simmons where he just out there for a check. But they threaten what he loves to do because he made somebody feel some kind of way about their interpretation of a religion that, you know, was in part man-made, right? Like not all the books, like are they you know, what is it, the Torah? You know, it's parts of the Torah like that I've been watching. Where is it, the Torah or the other book, where they have, you know, excerpts where they're talking about how you can treat a black person, right? Like a black person, you can pretty much, you know, disrespect the fuck out of them in their book, and you know, the things like this need to be questioned, right? And because if we had a book, you know, Minister Farrakhan is kicked off of all social media for his religious views on, you know, on white people. And so when you question the religious views on black people, then all of a sudden it's a big problem. And so, you know, I think for that it's unfair that he has to publicly come out and denounce his learning process and his learning growth.
Yeah. And a lot of these things too, you know, these Abrahamic religions are kind of interrelated. You know, the Torah is mostly just like the Old Testament. And it's a lot of stuff in there you can question, you know, how to properly treat your slaves, you know, what you do if you rape a virgin, you have to marry her. Now it's a lot of stuff in there where it's like, yeah, this is not applicable, right? This is kind of crazy when you look at it in totality. But you know, as far as Kyrie is concerned, to me, he just tweeted out a link to a documentary that's publicly available on a platform where you have a billionaire owner. He's not getting any flack for keeping that platform. In fact, that platform has just set records. The fact that they tried to erase it and, you know, try to say that this is anti-Semitic. Now that documentary now is actually like one of the best sellers on that platform because you just didn't leave well enough alone. If they had just let it be what it be, he tweeted out the post or whatever, and they just put it on. But they couldn't do that because they have the boycott, right? You can't have him out here. They just so upset about this, right? So up in arms. And I think the biggest thing that upset them actually, I don't think necessarily the so-called downplaying of the Holocaust. I think it's the fact that it's implying that black people are the original Jews. And it's like, how dare you? How dare you? Negro?
How dare you say something that scientifically can be proven with 23andMe?
Yeah, how dare you even imply that you're the chosen people? Because that's all it is. The Jewish people, they are the chosen people, you know, according to their documents. And how dare you imply you are part of these chosen people? You know, that's to me was the big thing. So they had to sense and not only just, you know, make this dude apologize, but kind of publicly embarrass him. And I think they do have a lawsuit going, and I hope he wins that motherfucker and get his bread back. But to me, you know, he should have just standed on his principles. I think he had enough people behind him. Understand you want to play ball. That's his life and all that other stuff. But, you know, some things are bigger than you. Some things are bigger than ball. Some things are bigger than everything you got going on. You could go there with Dwight Howard and, you know, go be a legend in China if you wanted to. They'll probably love to have him over there. You get a statue right next to Marbury in a shoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, Marbury is literally a god in China. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do that, you know, but you know, it is what it is. He did what he had to do. I don't think he necessarily took a hard stance anyway. I don't think necessarily he's anybody's freedom fighter or whatever. I just think he has his own opinion about things. So, you know, I can't even knock the man because, you know, he at the end of the day, he got a family. He wants to do what he wants to do. You know, I've never known him as anybody's Malcolm X, you know, anything like that. I don't think he's that. So, you know, it was par for the course. I didn't expect them. It was disappointing, but I expected them to kind of hold it up. But Lero, what you got on did Kyrie fold, or what do you think on this?
I mean, like Ed was saying, you know, I don't think he necessarily folded because I mean all he did was just share a link, you know. It wasn't like he didn't say anything with it. It was just the link. I think all the time, people say all the time, like on Twitter, retweets are not endorsements. I share plenty of things that I don't necessarily agree with, but I'm just sharing it. You know what I mean? To kind of boosted whatever, you know what I mean? It's just information. Like I said, they didn't have that same smoke for Amazon, who got the video on their platform. So no, I mean, I wish he would just stand on on his actions, just off principle. I wish he wouldn't have apologized, but I get it. Like I said, whether he apologized or not, it's not like they gonna forget this instance. You know what I mean? They gonna still remember it. They gonna still bring it up, whether his apology or not. They gonna dissect his apology and determine whether it was legit or not. I think the only issue I had with what he said, it was kind of like almost a little tap dancing for a minute, because he was like, we got shared plights with the Jewish community and cultural connections. I was like, hold on now, Kyrie, I don't know about all that, but he did what he had to do, did what he wanted to do, and it's just unfortunate how they were, doing him from jump. So I mean, it just is what it is.
Should been like, yo, give us BET back. But Rod, what you got? You think Kyrie folded, or was this is a necessary thing he did to survive or keep his image up? What you think?
I think he was just trying to play clean up for his image. I feel like he fully stands on the fact that he wasn't endorsing anything by reposting something. And the apology didn't really seem all too genuine to me. And like Lero said, everybody's going to pick it apart for its genuineness. But yeah, I think he should have just stood on what he did.
Yeah, that's what. But he didn't really do nothing. He just tweeted it,
and that's why I said he should have stood on it.
Yeah, I seen they had a rally today, which they got a bunch of the Hebrew Israelites out there.
Outside the Nets, outside the Barclays.
They got their Q colors on, doing their thing out there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so to me, it shows that a lot of people. I want to say, when we had the episode last week, we see a lot of people backpedaling. I think Kyrie had enough support in the system where that he could have withheld, and honestly would have probably been better off in the long run with that. You know what I'm saying? You brought up Cap earlier. Cap basically getting paid for being he don't want to get, man, that dude ain't trying to play football no more. You know what I'm saying? He was getting in Madden games and everything else from what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? So to me, Kyrie, I think, could have had a way bigger impact in basketball and actually set himself up for a longer impact check bag, if you want to put it that way, by standing on his principle. I think he could have been larger than life. But I've seen this before with a lot of these NBA players. I don't know what it is about the NBA players. It's like when the Clippers had that playoff series where they come find out the owner was racist, and instead of like shutting NBA down, which would have been a hell of a move, historic move, they just kind of threw their practice jerseys in the middle of the floor and it played.
They forced him to sell his franchise for $2.1 billion. Oh, yeah, big whoop.
Yeah, big whoop. And to me, it would have been a much more inspiring feat for these players to shut the NBA down for a day and show that they actually have some power. To me, the NBA is almost a league where it's this 80% black league, but it's like no power. Like you never see any power exerted amongst the players, that largely by and far control that league. That league is nothing without star power, because there's only 12 players on the team, only 5 players on the court at a time. So if you have a star player in this league, they literally can move the league left or right. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole fan base that will follow LeBron to wherever league he goes to. There's a whole fan base that will follow, Kyrie to wherever he goes, or Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? Or any of the superstars in the league, Ja Morant. They can literally go, anybody in a fan base will move with them. You know what I'm saying? They probably have more Twitter followers or Instagram followers than the league itself. So these people need to realize their power at a certain point and start utilizing it, man, and stop folding, So
I will say they tried to, in 2020 with the George Floyd stuff, all that talk about a strike, and then they sent Obama in to come and kind of quell that little fire down.
Don't calm those Negroes down.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do it all the time. That's another thing too. Like I said, it's gonna move where the star power goes when you're top flight, your number one face of the league is buddy with the system, then they're gonna move where he moves. So I guess I'd be very disappointed in the NBA. That's why I don't even do league pass. I stream them joints. I ain't even gonna give you satisfaction. If I watch an NBA game, I'm streaming it. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed with them too, because we've seen them have opportunity to make historical social impact, and it's like they just wanted to kind of prove that they were right about an argument, right? They, like you said, they had opportunity, especially when you look at how they prosecuted players over the years, right? Look at how they did Ron Artest, Jermaine O'Neal in the Rumble in the Palace, where white fans were throwing drinks and spitting on them, and then when the crowd, man, you want to spit on a 6'9" athlete and think you ain't gonna get punched in the face, there's something wrong with you. You know what I mean? And then, they suspended them boys without pay for a year. And you look at that, and it's to the furthest extent that they could. And then when you watch somebody that doesn't do anything remotely like that, pretty much almost face the same type of punishment, right? Because they said a minimum of 5 games, unless he finished all of those things on that list. Meaning that if he would have refused to do all of those things on the list, they probably would have just indefinitely suspended him for the season until he did it. So we look at the extent that they're willing to punish us versus the extent of how they punish owners, right? I think the Titans owner just got caught drinking and driving. You don't see him having to come out and talk about the dangers of driving a motor vehicle while driving. And when you're rich, why can't you? What is an Uber for you when you're a millionaire?
Private drivers, private.
Well, we don't talk about we don't force them to talk about how irresponsible that is, right? So, for the NBA to have such a voice, right, compared to other leagues, the NFL, they could never say some of the stuff that they say in goddamn press conferences. You would never hear them talk about any of this stuff in the press conference in the NFL. And it's one of those things where I commend Jaylen Brown, man. Jaylen Brown's, came out and was very, very concise about how he felt and what was wrong with what Nets owner Joe Tsai was trying to do. And for the players, especially for not the current players and the former players, i.e. Shaq and Barkley, to come on, bro. Y'all brothers are smart guys. I get what they're taking the stance, protect them bag, right? But it's like you guys are rich enough where you could just say you disagree with what he's saying, but without kicking his back in and calling that man stupid on TV, idiot, and all that stuff. Yeah, that's fighting words. You didn't call me no idiot. You know what I mean? And now you backtracking because black, you can't go to the black tape. You going to the cookout and black people like, nah, you can't come over here, baby. And now you trying to backtrack.
Go play. Nah, you get
and now all of a sudden you want to backtrack what you said. No, what I really meant was, nah, you don't get that saying. We gonna prosecute you the same way they prosecuting Kyrie because you contributed to it. When they brought up Kyrie name every day in media, they had black panelists talking about it. They did not have white panelists talking about it. And we contributed to how he was being received in the media. And that's the effed up part. We can't blame them when we allow ourselves to be tools to be used to fight against our brothers. So that's the disappointing part is, Richard Jefferson. I don't care about the ESPN people who never really was doing anything, but Shaq Barkley, Richard Jefferson, all these other players, Jay Williams kind of stuck his neck out there. But they preach all of this tough shit until it's time to do something that they feel uncomfortable that might affect their bottom line. And it seems like it's going to affect their bottom line anyway, because now they're talking about not ringing up their show for the next contract on TNT. So it's like, that's really what they were concerned about. Come on, y'all messing up our money over here, man. You know what I'm saying? And that shit is so grimy. It's just grimy. Shit.
Yeah, and honestly, they could just, like I said, We gonna talk to him. I ain't got no comment on it. You know, it's unfortunate we gotta talk about this. I'm gonna call that brother. Y'all got numbers, man. Y'all veterans in the game. Y'all got agents that's connected. Y'all got GMs that's connected. Is at a certain point, I'm not finna criticize this dude and put. It's plenty of shit I disagree with. A lot of brothers and sisters say, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna holler at you on the low. You know what I'm saying? Yo, let me talk to you, bro, and break it down to you how I feel. I'm not finna insult you on national television. I ain't gonna come on this little platform here and insult you or whatever. I'm gonna hit your line. You know what I mean? It's almost like the equivalent if I come up here, L ain't on the episode. Yeah, L, man, his last take, yeah, L's an idiot, man, because you know, bro. This is you know what I mean? This is a brother sisterhood. You one of the homies. We been in the same plight. I'm gonna hit you on the low and holler at you about something. You know what I mean? That's what you're supposed to do. You know, and we don't see that. We just see these people out here catering to people who don't give a shit about them for the bag. The bag. Yeah. So that's all I got, man. I think we could wrap it up there. We went almost 2 hours. So I'm gonna throw it out to you guys. You know, if you got anything you want to promote, anything you got going on, just anything you want to say in general, it's your time. Yo, so L, what you got, bro?
Passing on, I wanted to share this YouTube channel that I came across, but I gotta look for it. It's very, very I don't want to misquote it because I want people to watch it. Super dope. And they're doing actual debates in regards to this whole Jewish Hebrew Israelite debate. They're actually taking a proactive stance, bringing on Jewish people, and they're starting the conversation and actually debating Jewish people using their doctrine and killing them. So it's actually pretty good, very informative, and they're using, there's no feelings involved. It's not anybody's interpretation. They're using their doctrine to validate what we're saying. You know, their doctrine, the Bible. And I'm trying to find it. If not, I'll just see if you can post it on the IG because it's super dope. Let me look for it.
Yeah, just shoot me the link. Let me find it. Lero, what you got?
You already know, if you're looking for an organizational home, don't hesitate to get at me. You know, hit me up on Twitter, got my email, Instagram. Yeah, that's all I got. You know, hope everybody has a great, holiday coming up and everything, and all that good stuff.
Definitely. We're taking a week off too. We won't be back next Sunday. I'm gonna be somewhere probably inebriated, eating turkey sandwiches. Right, what you got going on?
The only thing I have to plug is the fact that my birthday is this Wednesday. So if y'all want to show your girl some love, go ahead and put my my Cash App in the caption of this video, D.
Word, we'll put it at the top next to the topics. Give Rob some diaper and money. And
hold on.
Right.
What is your birthday expectations? Because that's going to affect the donation, right? Are we talking like bottle popping, or are we talking about birthday dinner? Because there's a big difference.
I mean, y'all could just, send me something to put on a drink. Hold on, this little boy done waltzed.
You see, you hear those chilling, gotta eat.
This how to specify.
I could use a drink, so anything to go towards birthday drinks would be greatly appreciated.
Yo, you said only say happy early birthday.
Thank you, Oni.
And shout out to everybody who showed up. Casidra, we appreciate you coming through. We got the forecast in the building. Appreciate you, brother. Sister Raw always providing some good commentary down there. Ketter was here earlier. Shout out to Keller. Forecast was here. Shout out to Forecast. And Bit of Medicine Hill was here earlier as well. So shout out to all the family that come through, leave comments and helping us, push the show. Make sure y'all hit that like button for y'all get up out of here too, and hit that share button so we can grow the platform. And that's all I got. I ain't got nothing going on this week. You know what I'm saying? I still need to holler at L about that sports show he wanted to do.
Yeah, so I need a camera first though. That's the shit. If you want to donate, I need a 4K camera. You can't put nothing on YouTube, man, in 720p.
Yeah, you right, bro. I gotta get a damn camera myself, man. This is an Amazon camera. I gotta, Yeah, we gotta do that.
Yeah, I'm off. I'm unemployed. Happily unemployed as of
We got a couple. I think we got a couple people on this pod. Unemployed.
Bro, they still trying to. Yeah, me too. They talk about still paying me. I say, yo, can I get a termination letter and make this official? No, we still got you on the books. I don't like that.
Okay.
That's that. Ain't nothing for free. That easy. Go ahead and give me my termination letter. Keep me on the books.
Well, y'all got extra time, man. I'm starting delegating some tasks, man. I gotta go to work. But that's all I got, man. I appreciate y'all on the panel, man. Much love to my panel, man. Y'all showing up. We got a full crew today, so I'm grateful for that, man. Always a pleasure. Yeah. No fines this week. I think that's rare. So on behalf of everybody here at the Harsh Reality Podcast, I gotta say peace.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Greetings, everyone. This is Koku from the Bitter Medicine Podcast, inviting you to tune in to the Bitter Medicine Podcast on KWAZ Radio.
Peace, family. This is Oni, inviting you to listen to the pro-black perspective, where black problems are addressed with black solutions.
Greetings, fam. Tune in to The Learning Curve with me, the revolutionary matron on KWAZ Radio.